welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing something very important in my point of view. We're doing what is your social fear and how to overcome it. And the reason I see this as a very important reading is because we are social creatures, and it's always important to improve in that area. See how we can connect better with people, understand what our fears are, and learn how to overcome them, because you should never label yourself, but rather understand yourself better and improve. So for this reading we're doing 3 piles. For pile number 1, this is the picture we have. For pile number 2, this is the picture we have. And for pile number 3, this is the picture that we have. Take a look at these 3 pictures and see which one you're the most drawn to. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, then there's definitely messages there for you. Trust your intuition in picking your piles, even if it means picking the 3 of them. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you chose this beautiful picture for your reading here. It says express your love. So let's read on the other side and take a look, take a quick peek at what your social fears might be. It says impeccability of the word can be measured by your level of self-love. If you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others, and that action will produce a like reaction. So I'm getting a strong hit here about being more comfortable with who you are, because the more comfortable you are around yourself, the slower you take things, the more you take your time to do things properly for yourself, to speak or to greet people, the more you do it comfortably, the more people will feel comfortable around you. But again, let's take a look at your tarot cards and your oracle cards all together, because I believe this is a reading that needs a cohesive message to understand more about what your social fears are and how to solve them. Okay, so what is pile number 1's social fears? Floating, I see. Okay, so you have crystal ball, and that is insight. Floating. With floating that I just channeled here and the water, I feel like you just want to make it work. You want the time to pass and to let it work for you during that time, to keep afloat, just to make it work. All right, let's find out more about what your social fears are and how to solve them. You have the Knight of Wands. This is pretty cool. You have the 7 of Pentacles. Rushing, floating is what I'm getting. A Queen of Swords. Page of Pentacles. And 3 of Swords. Okay. Now let's take your clarification cards. We'll use the Osho deck for that. So what are your social fears? I see anxiety here. I'm channeling a lot of anxiety in this pile. Burning anxiety. Okay. You have compromise here with the 6 of Pentacles. Awareness. Success under the 7 of Pentacles. That's pretty cool. You have silence under the Queen of Swords. You have rebirth under the Page of Pentacles. That's pretty cool. And you have mind under the Three of Swords. So pile number 1. It looks like to me that you're a pile here who wants to mingle with other people. You really want to express yourself and you have a lot of wise things to say. But you feel like you're not capable of sometimes expressing your thoughts, pile number 1. So you stay silent sometimes. You're afraid of other people triggering you, disrespecting you sometimes, cutting you off, not liking what you say. There's a lot of overthinking here in this area when it comes to speaking up. What I see here is that if you actually do speak up, pile number 1, you will be perceived as a very interesting person. You'll be surprised if I tell you, pile number 1, that you're actually, if you harbor your full persona, let go of your fears, which we're going to talk about extensively here, you actually fit the right place of being the life of the party. And I see an advice here of compromising less of yourself and rather working on yourself every day on the things we're going to talk about here. And if you work on yourself little by little every day, put yourself out there, you're going to create success. You're going to make it out of this. So do not enclose yourself into the idea that you can't get out of it. You're imprisoning yourself here when you have so much interesting things to say. With the water here, I see that people will really look at you with amazement. They will love what you have to say, but you have to take yourself out of your mental scrutiny. It's like you are the one scrutinizing yourself. And here I see that it's not the people who are not giving you the space to talk. I see here that even if you do get the space to talk, pile number 3, you will realize that there is more to it, that it's really all about how you speak to yourself and the ideas that you've been feeding yourself here about why you're not speaking up, pile number 1. Even though you have a lot of interesting things to say, when you do speak up, you feel like the attention is gone to you because you're really saying interesting things, and then you get mind freeze. You don't know what to do with that attention. And you shouldn't be intimidated by this amount of attention, pile number 1. This is exactly where you need to grow and rise above yourself. When you get that level of attention, pile number 1, instead of panicking, think of what you wanted to say. Say something really nice and be okay with what you said, even if it was something very small, or maybe you want to go on about something. But don't shock yourself with that amount of attention. Focus, shift your attention from, whoa, I have everyone's attention now, to what you want to say. What idea do you want to talk about? And if you don't, create one slowly. My advice to you here is to rise slowly, meaning don't rush. Don't feel like you have to do it now. Take your time to breathe. Say, so what I really want to say about that is that some people think this, some people think that. Don't rush. Take it slowly. People will calm down with you, and believe me, they will enjoy what you're about to say. So speak slowly, think slowly. Don't be shocked by the attention that you get when you do get your turn to speak. Now that's one side. Let's talk about the other side when you don't get your chance to speak. It's rooted with the same problem here. Your belief that you're not going to be heard here lets you compromise on what you want to say. You sometimes compromise. You say things quickly. And when you talk quickly, pile number 2, it gives the impression to people that you're not worthy of being heard, even though you really are. You really are, pile number 1, with a crystal ball here. You have amazing things to say that will really benefit everyone. So don't speak quickly, because this will really compromise on who you are as a person. It will give a different impression of who you actually are. And so here you need to express yourself slowly. Take your time to say what you want to say, pile number 1. And don't let someone cut you off. Finish your sentence. Finish what you want to say. It will happen that sometimes people will cut you off, and you got to accept that. But more often than not, make sure that you finish your sentence, and you will find those who want to listen to you. Take your time, speak slowly, not too slow, but take your time to say what you want to say correctly, and people will really appreciate you and start listening to you in that matter here. Pile number 1. At the center of your reading, I do see a great deal of expression, self-expression, and being silent. And that's really at the root cause of this whole situation, pile number 1. How awesome would it be when people finally get to hear your ideas about things? And the more you talk, the more you train people to listen to you, because now they know that you have interesting things to say. And that takes practice and time with the people around you. So start pushing yourself to express yourself more, little by little, every time. And realize, pile number 1, that it takes time to create this community around you that really loves what you have to say. So you have to experiment a lot and find different people until you find your tribe. Because here with the water here, it reminds me of, like, just as each drop of water makes up a river, and each river makes up an ocean, follow the course that is right for you, and you will meet up with others whose rivers is flowing to the same ocean as yours, pile number 1. So speak your mind, say what you want to say, and you will find those who really appreciate what you're talking about. You will form your tribe little by little until you have a big community that listens to you, that loves what you have to say, because you all have the same mindset and same interests, of course, and you all value what you have to say, pile number 3. So please take that advice at heart and start opening up. And I see a promise here of the more you practice not fearing that attention once you get it, shift your mind from the attention to what you can say next. Think of how you can be useful in this moment and say anything, even if it doesn't come out as wise in the beginning. Make it sound wise in the beginning as you train. And always find closing sentences so that you close off the conversation gracefully. So you can remember a couple of sentences like, so yeah, that is my idea about the whole situation. This is what I really believe in. So that could be one of your sentences. And you can write down during your free time a couple of sentences that you like, that match your personality, as closing sentences once you have expressed your idea really well, so that you can close it off gracefully. And remember, don't look at people and see what their opinion is of what you said once you're done. Let it go. Look away gracefully, and if no one else talks, take it as another opportunity to say something that you like, even if you talk about something within the room. So practice like that, pile number 1. Sooner than later, you'll find yourself breaking out of your shell, and little by little, believe me, Not only are you going to grow into success, you're meant to be the center of attention. So claim that, pile number 1. And you can only claim that when you stop fearing what's going to happen inside of your head, but rather gracefully opening up, not fearing the attention, shifting away from what people may think into what you want to say, and doing more of that every single time, pile number 1. So that was your reading, pile number 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you've chosen this beautiful card here. I see a flower coming out of the third eye chakra here. It says cultivate faith. On the other side, it says to have great faith is to have great power, because your intent, your will is undivided. When your word isn't dissipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. So pile number 2, I get a sense straight away that your social fears have to do with wanting to impress the people around you. And there's nothing wrong with that, pile number 2. We all, to some degree, want people to be impressed by us. But I see that this sometimes hinders you too much here. So let's take a look at what your tarot cards have to say. And first, let's pick an oracle card and have a look at your reading cohesively so that we get a clear message of what is the root cause of your social fear, what it is exactly, and how to get over it. So you have cave, retreat. Interesting. That reminds me of the womb straight away. Okay, so let's pick out your tarot cards and see what we have. So for pile number 2, please, what is their social fears? What is the root cause? And how can they fix it, please? Thank you. Okay. So pile number 2, you have, wow, Queen of Swords again. Okay. Page of Pentacles again. Unbelievable. Maybe you want to check pile number 1. I really mean that. Okay, so you have, again, 2 cards. 8 of Cups, right. Ooh, we have 6 of Swords. Another one fell down. 5 of Cups, wow. We have a coherent message here. All right, I think we need to take this one as well. So what is that? 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Right. Let's put this at the end here so that you can see it as well. All right. Let me organize this and come back. Okay. So let's take a look at your clarification cards. You have breakthrough. This is really cool. Stress under cave. All right. You have fighting under Queen of Swords. I see this card wanting to come out. Healing under Page of Pentacles, sorry. Comparison under 8 of Cups. You have 4 of Wands, that's participation under 6 of Swords, right? Aloneness, which is the Hermit, under the 5 of Cups. Wow, integration under 4 of Pentacles. This is such an interesting reading here for you, pile number 2. So what I see here straight away, pile number 4, is that you really flourish when people are impressed by you, because to be quite frank here, you're a very impressive personality to begin with, so you do deserve that attention. But I see the problem here for you is that when you don't get that attention, I see you get to become a little bit reclusive. You want to walk away. You don't feel as much power. You feel like your power has been taken away from you. You tend to retreat when that happens. Pile number 2. Even though you tend to have a very strong character, obviously, by nature, you know you're an impressive person, but that part gets to you. When the light is shed on someone else, I see you get to be a little bit reclusive here. And the problem with that, pile number 2, is that we'll never have 100% of people like us all the time. And so we have to accept that some people will be amazed by who we are, especially if we're amazing like you. And some people, no matter how good we are, just won't be impressed. And that part, once you accept that, you will no longer feel like anyone should dim your light where you should be shining. Pile number 2. Here with the 4 of Wands right under the 6 of Swords, it shows me that when you leave this idea of wanting to be loved by everyone, you will shine automatically, because to begin with, you're quite an impressive, strong character. And by rectifying this idea, simply by leaving away this idea that everyone should be impressed by you at all times, you liberate yourself and you start to claim your power, and you shine the whole time. Pile number 2. This thought sometimes tends to push you towards comparing why other people are getting more attention in some area. And even though you're quite a peaceful person who does not want to compare yourself to anyone, you kind of feel like society's pushing you to compare sometimes, because you're not getting the attention that you should be sometimes. And so you unnecessarily, and without meaning to, without even wanting to, you find yourself comparing yourself to why other people got attention at this moment, and why they're being heard at this moment, or why they're being admired at this moment, even though in a normal situation you wouldn't be comparing yourself. And you only compare here, you fall into the trap because you want to learn and to get better and do better, which is fine when you're being inspired. But don't let the root cause of your social fears here push you down that trail. And so instead of going down that trail, heal that part of you that wants people to admire them at all times. It's a wrong understanding that we got during childhood, sometimes due to parents treating us in a certain way, or authoritative figures like teachers, and we need to grow out of it. We need to unlearn what others have taught us. So this is not your fault. You should never label yourself with it. It's just wrong understanding from society. And now it's time for you to heal it and unlearn it, and understand that even the best in the world, not everyone loves them. You have the concept of God. Some people love God and some people don't. Some people believe in God and some don't. Something as amazing as spirituality, some people love it and see its magic, and other people make fun of it. And you have other things like art and world leaders and pretty and handsome people around the world, where some find them the most gorgeous in the world and others just don't see them as looking good. And that's the world. And so you have to be okay with the fact that you're not liked sometimes. And once you tap into that power, and it is a big power, pile number 2, unlearn what you have been taught. You heal from that inner child who misunderstands what that means, due to the learnings that this inner child got in the past. And once you unlearn that, you don't need to recluse, you recluse away when you're not in the spotlight, but rather continue to be the spotlight, because nobody triggers you and nobody tells you who you should be. And that power comes from you claiming your power, you believing in who you are, not letting people do that for you. Pile number 2. And so I see a lot of success and a breakthrough for you in this specific area. There, I see with the integration card, which is the world card, an integration of your strength, which is how impressive you are now, with what used to worry you. And together you become whole if you start working on it. Pile number 2. I see a breakthrough here. I see you moving away from that sort of stress and claiming your power. And through that process, you heal that inner child that has been mistreated in this area, or guided in this area. Pile number 2. And this way, you claim your power by being strong even when you don't have that attention. Realizing that you do have the attention, it's in your hands when you choose to put it. When no one should give it to you, that you should come and take it. Pile number 2. Owning up to that thought will make every other worry dissipate, and you will step into your personal power. See who you are, because you already have it. So it's time for you to hold it and use it. Pile number 2. And in this way, you integrate and become the person that you want to be socially. And I do see here that you're already impressive. I said that a million times and I mean it. But you need to claim your power and be the best version of yourself. Pile number 2. Be okay with sometimes sharing your spotlight. Pile number 2. Because it looks like to me that you're meant to be in the spotlight, for sure. And so one way to overcome this is to accept sharing the spotlight with other people. When some other people take it at certain points, let them take it for now and then reclaim it back. Just don't recluse when this happens. So let people take their spotlight moments and then come and take it back, and rather than holding back altogether. Pile number 2. This way, you would have learned exactly what you need to do socially. Learn to be comfortable when you're not seen. Only this way, you'll come back with force. Speak what you want to say, because you believe in who you are initially. You know how impressive it is. And sometimes, if there is a toxic group that you're in that is jealous maybe of you, or does not treat people in the right way on purpose, does not give that spotlight on purpose, with a toxic dynamic here, I see that you sometimes need to drop these people off. Sometimes it's really a bad and toxic group that you need to recluse out of. Pile number 2. Look, pile number 2, I sense with your strong energy here that you are going to overcome this. I really mean it. I'm not saying this to encourage you. I'm really telling you the honest truth. And with slow and steady application, you can achieve what you've set out to do. So take that as a practicing ground the next coming few days, or the next coming meetings with other people, whether virtually or in real life if you can, according to the rules of your country. And by time, you will form this potential within you. Give it time for this new understanding to emerge and help you out, become stronger and more vibrant so that you can express yourself better. Pile number 2. So pile number 2, that was your reading. I know you're gonna make it. I really believe in it. From your reading here, I can see you healing and coming out of it easily. You're already super impressive, and it's just that one tick that you have to tick off your list to claim back your power. And pile number 2, if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen this really interesting card here. It says release self-judgment. And straight away, before we even read, I feel like on the outside you're actually do very well socially. You're quite popular with your friends, and it seems like there are no troubles at all. And I see your social problems is actually an internal one and not an exterior one that you would find out about only when people get closer to you, because I see here a lot of overthinking going on, and that's what really is causing all the troubles with you. So let's see what it says on the other side. It says, even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. So that's really interesting there. Let's take a look at what your other cards have to say. I see glue, and that really makes me understand that you're not able to let go of your thoughts pretty easily, especially the negative ones that tend to nag. And this is, I guess, where we're going to learn how to, through your cards, how to release them easily so that you have more mental peace. Let's find out more about your social fear, what it is like, and what's the root cause, and how can you get over it. Pile number 3. So it seems like everything from the outside is okay with you. Pile number 3. You have the 3 with 3 of Swords. It's all internal, and it's all self-created, self-generated. Pile number 3. People really love you here. You have the Fool. You're very outgoing. Pile number 3. You have the Page of Swords. Very smart person as well, and that is a double-edged sword here for you. You use your thoughts to push you forward in life, but at the same time, sometimes it drags you down, this overthinking. 5 of Pentacles. You have everything, and sometimes you are the one who drags yourself down too much and believes that you don't have anything. So this is all self-made. Pile number 3. 9 of Swords. Queen of Swords. A lot of thinking. Even though you're a very outgoing person. Pile number 3. People will be surprised to know about this once they get to know you. So you have the 6 of Pentacles. You're very good at giving and receiving conversations with other people. You don't have any problems in this area. You're a good communicator. So why, pile number 3, why? You have the Page of Pentacles here. All right. Now let's take your clarification cards. First we need to take an oracle card for you. Find out more about the situation. I'm feeling this one. The Green Man again. Self-confidence. Speaking out. This is masculine energy. You're doing really well on the outside, but not doing so well on the inside. Pile number 3. Alright, so let's get more clarification cards here, please. For pile number 3, you have stress under Fool. So you look fine on the outside, but you are stressed on the inside due to a lot of thoughts that happen as you communicate. They nonetheless don't stop your outgoing demeanor. You have laziness under Page of Swords. Okay. You have going with the flow under the 5 of Pentacles. You have isolation under Nine of Swords. You have celebration under Queen of Swords. And you have receptivity under the Six of Pentacles. Pile number 3. So listen, pile number 3. You do know how to express yourself confidently. You know how to create new friends easily. And you're a very outgoing persona in general. The problem is with your internal thoughts. They really get to you. And especially if you're criticized, even if it's a little bit, you tend to feel like the world stopped on the inside. You can tend to overthink about it, let it cause stress, and it sometimes really hurts you to think that other people are maybe thinking of you this way, and why would they say these things to you. Everything that happens at the end of the day, it makes you really think about it. It makes you ask yourself whether you're worth it or not. And that's the root cause here. Whether you're worth this attention. Will people find out if you're worth it or not? And that's a secret thought that you only have, pile number 2. And I think you've struggled with this for a very long time, alone. You didn't tell anyone about it because you do know that you look very confident on the outside. And hey, you are confident. But there is a lingering thought on the inside, always questioning whether you are worth it or not, whether people will find out if you're not worth it. And this is a thought that you have alone that really makes you cry. It makes you cry alone, pile number 2. It's something that you have to go through alone. And the problem is that it's really not true. You have, again, learned this idea from a certain situation when you were a little child. And that might have stemmed, again, here from an authoritative figure. This could have been someone who used to study to you, a teacher, someone who was supposed to be helping you grow up one way or the other. And without meaning to, pile number 2, they had a great effect on how you see yourself on the inside. Maybe there was a lot of punishment, a lot of disciplinary ideas about what you should do to deserve things. And somewhere along the way it got twisted, where you formed the idea, an internal idea, that you are not sometimes worth it, where you question it just like they did. Even though you seem like a well-balanced person who's achieved a lot in life, very well loved socially, and is just that internal thought that you're not capable at the moment of getting yourself out of, pile number 3. So listen here, pile number 3. I see here with the 7 of Wands, especially depicted in this card, that your advice is to understand that when you're triggered with these thoughts, you are not out of control. You have all the power to take back control of your mind and how you think. And that is an ongoing practice until you reverse these type of thoughts. And these are not ideas that I'm making up now. These are actually ideas that I've read by great neuroscientists like Dr. Caroline Leaf and many others, explaining that we have full control of our mental health and our thoughts, unlike we thought previously, and that things that happened to us in the past do not define us at all. This is not who we are, and that we have everything in our hands to shift these thoughts. And here with the 7 of Wands, I see that you need to reverse these type of thoughts. When you're triggered by any of these ideas, I see here that you're supposed to stop these ideas and say, no, I don't accept them anymore. I am fully worth it. I don't accept these thoughts about myself anymore. I am fully worth it. I've done this and that, and keep a list handy next to you, pile number 3, where you write down all the amazing things about you so that you can visibly see it straight away. Understand that you're definitely worth it, and these are just ideas that were implanted in your head when you were a little child. And it's a wrong idea to think that you can't let go of them, just like balloons. You have the full capability to reverse this, pile number 3, and to let go of these ideas slowly. Flow with it, pile number 3. Whenever it hits you, say, I'm not getting into this rabbit hole anymore. I'm not accepting these thoughts about me anymore. So whenever you get triggered, push these thoughts away and decide that you know better. You know you're worth it, and move them away. And by retraining your mind into that type of thinking and not falling down the rabbit hole, to push away triggers, understand that triggers happen. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It just means that something happened during your childhood, and now you need to just push it away. When you get triggered, you train your brain to untrigger itself. And by time, it won't be triggering you anymore. You shift the way you think. Whenever you feel triggered by a certain thought or a certain idea that you get from the outside, and you know it's not true, tell yourself, no, I'm not going to get triggered. If it's one idea where you can improve yourself, harbor that and write it down and start working on it. But if it's a silly thought that keeps hitting you and you keep going down that rabbit hole, you're not going to do that anymore, pile number 3. From now on, you're going to get this trigger and say, oh, I don't get triggered anymore. Sorry. Moving on. Don't get down that rabbit hole. You get hit and you go, no, I don't get triggered anymore. Thank you very much. And you push that thought away. And by time, you'll find yourself healing from that situation and claiming back your power, because the green man is all about growth, is all about masculine power. Claiming your power is all about confidence and strength. And this is what you're all about. And this is why, despite all of these things, you're succeeding socially. You're doing great on the outside. Now it's time to use that power for the inside as well and heal little by little until you're no longer triggered, pile number 3. And remember, pile number 3, whatever happened in the past, whether you remember it or not, it happened out of ignorant ideas. Whether these people meant it or not, I'm sure they had your best interest at heart. But at the end of the day, these were wrong ideas. And where do you want to function from? An ignorant idea that you're going to keep dwelling on? Or the right type of thinking, the healthy way to think, pile number 3? And that is your choice. And I'm sure with a smart person like you, with the Queen of Swords here, you're going to make the right decision. And instead of functioning from a wrong idea, you're going to need to plant a new idea and function from there, pile number 3. And remember, you have changed so many things about you in your life. That's not going to be the last or the first. So step into that power, pile number 3, and start working on this idea little by little. And I promise you, by time, you will have healed this from the inside out, pile number 3. So remember, you have cried it and cried it out. It's now time to heal rather than dwell on it. It's now time for you to rise instead of getting stuck, whether you know it or not, into a victim mentality. Stepping out of that into your full power that you have and balancing out that thought and healing yourself, like we said, from the inside out by refusing to think the wrong way and thinking the right way. And that is through your new you, your new strong you, the you that does not question who you are if it doesn't make sense. And if it does make sense, you're going to write it down and improve it. There's no problem here, pile number 3. So unlearn that, relearn the new you, because you're already a strong person, pile number 3. And that was your reading. I know you're going to do great. Pile number 3. I'm rooting for you, and all the best of luck. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!